What up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk. The channel will discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So in today's episode, I'm going to discuss how moving into the IT space can make you money. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out, give you leverage, you better yourselves. So let's get into it. So moving into the IT space to make money. So as a caveat to this video, if you are a person that don't like troubleshooting, you don't like solving problems, and you have some issues with math, I would not suggest being in the IT field, right? The reason being is because the IT field has so many components to it that it's always changing. You know, technology is always changing, and even though you may get a certification or a degree in some type of IT field, you know, you're always going to be in a constant state of learning because things change so much in the IT field. And also, when I say about having a good grasp of numbers and doing mathematics, it's not necessarily that that you need to know how to do algebra and all these other things. What I mean is that depending on what type of IT field you go in, you're going to have to work with a lot of numbers and a lot of equations and a lot of calculations when it comes to certain things, whether it be figuring out IP address scopes, being able to convert binary to numerical and all those other things, right? So it's not hard, and I mean I'm saying this because I've been doing it for so long that it's not hard to me, right? But for somebody that's starting off, it could be kind of daunting. It could be kind of discouraging. But what I would say is that if you have a heart for solving problems, it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. Honestly, it really shouldn't. But one of the things that I would say is if you're going to go into this field, I would say definitely get your Security Plus cert first, or A+, and that's all through CompTIA. Now the reason why I say get those certs first is because those two certs are the building blocks to IT. Now you can get other certs if you want to, but that's not really a big deal as far as you actually not having certs at all starting off. I will say that sometimes, depending on what kind of field you go into, you might need to go to college and actually do a 4-year degree. But this is one thing I would say about college when it comes to IT. And this is my personal opinion, and I think that I could definitely pull up some data to back this up. If you are a person that do not want to be in a supervisory position, eventually, once you actually get into the IT space, there's no need for really a degree, right? I have 2 degrees. I have a bachelor's and an associate's in cybersecurity and computer networking and computer studies, right? So, for me, those 2 degrees helps me with being in charge of people, right? But you don't need to be in charge of people to make money, right? I know some other fields out there, and unless you get into a manager position, or you get into a higher position where you have people under you, that's when you start making money. That's not the case in IT. You can literally be your own person and actually build your income based off of just the knowledge you have, right? I think I mentioned this in a video before, where I had came here to DC one time with my wife for anniversary, and this was a couple years ago, and I went to a bar. I had got a drink because my wife was seeing one of her sorority sisters, and just wanted to get a quick drink and just be done with it. And I met this one guy. He was in the military too. He was in the Air Force, and he long story short, we kind of exchanged information, and kind of find out he was a cloud architect. And him being a cloud architect, said it was making him $400,000 a year with Amazon, being an Amazon cloud architect. Now, for those that know about cloud, or have heard cloud before, of course, cloud is definitely one of those things that a lot of folks hear when they have cell phones and they're trying to upload things to the cloud. All it is just storage, right? It's basically you are saving something to whether it be a virtual server or a physical server, which means storage, right? For in layman's terms. And it's off somewhere. Like you could be in New York and you're saving something that has like a physical storage all in California. All depends what kind of service you have, right? But that person, the people that actually manage those servers and manage that storage, make a lot of money because it's hard to maintain. It's not an easy task. That's another reason. That's another thing about IT. IT, like I said, you can make a lot of money in IT, but IT is definitely not one of those fields where you can actually be lackadaisical, for lack of better words. You cannot be a person that's lazy when it comes to learning. You can't be a person that don't want to learn, and you can't be a person that fears learning because, like I said, there's so many moving parts in IT that that you can literally find yourself behind the 8 ball very easily. And IT is very competitive, depending on what company you work for, or even if you become a freelancer and you're actually doing this type of work, having an LLC or just being a sole proprietor. There's plenty of folks out there that do IT as a side hustle, and they freelance work and they secure their own contracts and make a lot of money. They really do. What I would say is some of the fields you should really look into when it comes to IT currently now is anything dealing with AI, artificial intelligence. That's a huge thing right now. So anything dealing with maintaining AI or creating AI or just dealing with AI in general is going to make you a lot of money, right? Now, I can't say specifically what kind of job you should have in AI because there's so many, it's a broad scope. But you can do your own research and Google it, and I'm pretty sure you'll get many hits on jobs that deals with AI. Myself, I've done penetration testing, which basically is being a hacker. I've done it for a couple of years, and I also have done some system administration work and network security and cybersecurity. So I have a broad spectrum of skill sets that I use when it comes to IT. But starting off, you need to focus on one particular thing. I would not suggest you go out and try to figure out cybersecurity and then go jump right into sysadmin. Like it's too much stuff, right? Like I said, I've been doing this stuff since 2003. So over the years, I was kind of forced to learn certain aspects of IT based off my job in the Army. Because in the Army, they made it where my field was a jack of all trades. So even though I may went somewhere where I didn't know something, I better learn it really, really quick because if I was the only IT person there, I was the only person able to fix this type of stuff. So I was kind of forced to learn a lot of things about IT before I got out the military, right? So that's the reason why I have so much of a skill set now. But in the civilian sector, it's not really like that. I mean, you can learn some extra things outside of what you want to focus on in IT. But you have to do a lot of research on your own. You have to do a lot of studying on your own. Your company may not pay for you to go to class to learn these other things in IT, so it can be a little bit more difficult when you're a civilian. But I would say definitely anything in AI, anything when it deals with cybersecurity, and anything dealing with penetration testing. Those 3 things right there is going to make you a lot of money. But don't chase the money when it comes to IT. I put this video out because I'm letting folks know that there's a lot of money in IT, right? But IT for some folks can be very discouraging because there's so much information you have to learn. And like I said, if you don't like solving problems, if you don't like troubleshooting things, it's not the field for you. Because even though you can make 6 figures easily, you can also lose your job easily too because IT is very competitive and it's a field that it's constantly growing. But if you're a person that actually loves computers and loves troubleshooting computers in and out, and you love how a network runs, IT, I'm telling you right now, you can make so much money, and it's job security, right? There's a lot of jobs out there for IT that will definitely help you put yourself in a space where you don't have to worry about being laid off, even though a lot of fields out there definitely get laid off easily. But IT is one of the more difficult jobs to get laid off from, because once you build your skill set enough, you'll become so much of an asset to that job that it's going to be very difficult for them to say, hey, we need to downsize, but I can't let so-and-so go because he knows this, that, and the third, or she knows this, that, and the third. It's another thing, too, to wrap this video up. Women that go into IT, I'm telling you, if you do IT as a woman, you're going to make so much money. You're going to have so much job security because there's a very limited amount of women that's in IT, right? So these companies are constantly trying to find women to be in IT. So if you're a woman and you love computers, you love how a network runs, going to IT, I'm telling you, you're almost guaranteed a job, period. That's just real. There's a very small select amount of women in the IT field, and the ones I've seen, they're awesome, right? So once again, IT can make you a lot of money, right? So I would suggest definitely to understand yourself, learn how to troubleshoot, understand if you like to troubleshoot, and if you get into this field, you can make a lot of money. I promise you can. So if you want me to discuss a topic or a subject you think is beneficial to the channel, email me at findingfitnessfolk@gmail.com. My email address is description below. Finding Fitness and Folk, Triple F, I'm gone.